Hello and welcome to My Newt News. My name's not Newt. I'm not a Newt, but you can call me Newt. So today I want to talk to you, actually it's more review than news, but I wanted to talk to you about Madam Web. And conveniently I did a search on Madam Web reviews. Man, I'm telling you there's a lot of negative on her, on this movie. Dead on Arrival. Best movie of the year, but if you watch it a little bit, yeah, it's very tongue-in-cheek. Madam Web is bad, and the actors know it. Madam Web is the end of all things, which that's a little... Why Madam Web sucked. Madam Web is truly terrible. Madam Web, the latest MCU disaster. I wonder if he gives credit to Gary from Nerdrotic for coming up with the MCU. Probably not. WTF is this? Madam Web reviews. Fallout critics despise industry changes. Oh boy. Okay, that's not it. Cringe. It's Morbin time. And Internet is absolutely roasting the Madam Web trailer. The Internet is absolutely roasting the Madam Web trailer. Madam Web breakdown. WTF happened? This is sad. LOL. YMS laughs at awful Madam Web trailer. Madam Web review, no spoilers. Well, and I can't say that that's going to be this. I'm going to have some spoilers later on. Worst movie of 2024? Madam Web is very bad. I'd rather eat my own foot. Wow. There's a lot of hyperbole about this movie. I watched it. Was it the best movie ever? No. I mean, was it Back to the Future good? No. Was it Guardians of the Galaxy 1 good? No. But on the other hand, at the end of the movie, I didn't feel like I had just lost an hour and a half or so of my life that I would never get back. I kind of liked it. Now, would I have felt that way if I'd seen it in IMAX and paid $40-some for 2 tickets and $30-some for popcorn and drinks and dropped almost $80 all up? Yeah, probably not. Now, I also have to point out that a lot of these bad reviews were from hardcore comic nerds. That's not where I'm coming from. I mean, I liked comics when I was young. I still have some, but I'm not the guy that has 30 long boxes of comics and 4 storage units, or lives in one room in his house because the rest of the house is full of comics and memorabilia. You know, I'm a bit of a nerd, but I'm not that kind of nerd. I'm not that much of a nerd. So for the most part, this review is coming from a more normie perspective. I like to think I'm reasonably intelligent, but not super hardcore comic guy. Now, if you are a hardcore comic person, this is probably not the movie for you, unless you want to hate watch it. And if you're hyper logical and expect other people to be too, yeah, probably not so much. Now, if you can dial down your expectations a little bit, you know, watch it for the 2.5 to 3-star movie that it is, then yeah, I think you can get some enjoyment out of this. Okay, I'm going to start out with some of the things that I did not like. At the beginning, I thought Dakota Johnson, she was kind of wooden acting, and I think they overdid the I don't give a crap about anyone else's feelings kind of thing. Part of that is I think they were trying to set up her character quick. This is a shorthand. This person doesn't deal with people well. Kind of leads to the ham-handed a bit character arc. Now, I did not like that pretty much all of the male characters were either evil, weak, or ineffectual. Now, you might say, you know, what about the proof? Oh, and this is well into spoilers, kids. So if you don't want spoilers, you better bail. Or I will put up a time frame where you can skip over the spoilers. Now, you might say, you know, what about the Peruvian spider guy? But they didn't show up until after 2 people were killed and her mom was mortally wounded, and they made no effort to catch the bad guy or to keep him from using the stolen spider to get powers to do evil. I didn't like that the bad guy and the leader of the Peruvian spider people looked a lot alike. You know, at first that was a little confusing. I mean, I'm not a moron. I sorted it out. But, and yeah, I know you can argue that I'm a moron, but whatever. And I really didn't like that the supposedly shy girl, the smart girl, ended up dancing on a table in a diner for random high school dudes. Especially because the timid girl was wearing a dress that was not real long, so climbing up on a table, she's showing all those guys her panties. And I don't think most timid girls would be doing that unless they had a good load of tequila on. That didn't look like that kind of diner. So, yeah, I'm thinking that's a little iffy. And I thought it was kind of contradictory. And I thought it was kind of contradictory that at the hospital toward the beginning that she didn't seem to care that their patient had lived. Which, yeah. And clearly she didn't want the kids drawing. But then she took it. And she ended up taking it home and putting it in her memento box with all the mementos of her mom, which really didn't make sense. It's like, okay, if you literally, huh? Who lived? And then 10 minutes later, you're putting this kid's drawing in with your most prized possessions. Yeah, that's not very realistic. And when the guy saved her life from drowning, Ben, she didn't seem at all appreciative of it and didn't even thank him. It's like, really? I understand poor people skills, but that's taking it a bit much. I didn't like that they didn't do more character development on the three younger girls. I mean, they're a big part of the plot. It was basically sketch outlines of why they're out on their own and don't have parents going, hey, where the heck's my kid? So I didn't like that. And I thought it was kind of dumb that in the train station where the bad guy's chasing them, that four women who are kind of jogging at most, and he couldn't catch them, but yet he could take out half a dozen cops. I mean, if you watch that scene, he is fast. So there is no way he could not have caught up with them women, because they were not running and they weren't being really sneaky and yeah. And I didn't like that the black pushy girl and the timid white girl were more often the focus than the smart Hispanic girl. I would have liked to see more of the smart Hispanic girl. I have serious doubts that Crown Victoria that she drove into the front of the diner, I mean, those things were tough, but drive in the front of the diner and then just pull out and all you've got is a mild dent in the front, it drives fine, you don't have a hole in the radiator or anything. Yeah. And when she decides to go to Peru, you girls wait here, I'm going to Peru. Really? Just that quick? Don't have to apply for a visa. Don't have to worry about getting your passport. Just, oh, yeah, I'm going. Don't have to worry about, do I have enough money to pay for a round trip flight to Peru at the last minute? Like, yeah, when's your next flight? I want to be on that one. That's pretty sketchy. Now, some of the things I did like. I like that her superpower is seeing into the future. And I think they did a decent job in showing her confusion and kind of the learning curve and making sense of the visions and, like, whoa, am I hallucinating? What's going on? I like that they showed a Blockbuster video in the background. That was fun. I like that she was socially awkward, but again, they may have overdone that a bit. And I like the fact that when she saved the girls, she didn't just go, okay, I'm sure you'll be fine. See ya. And I like that toward the end, they showed that her mom wasn't just being cavalier with the safety of her baby, that she was trying to save her. And I really like that they looped around to put that in instead of, her going through the rest of her life just thinking her mom was trying to kill her. And I kind of like the fact that she had a kind of maternal relationship with the girls. Now, there was some stuff that I missed. It was pointed out to me that her friend Ben was likely Uncle Ben from Peter Parker, and that the baby that was born was, hello, Peter Parker, destined to grow up to be Spider-Man, which I thought that was kind of nice. That little low-key thing, Easter egg, a low-key Easter egg, that was nice. And someone commented that the movie engaged in foreshadowing with the CPR lesson, but I could argue with that because she's a paramedic. That's what she knows. She was poisoned thinking that, okay, girls, if one of you gets touched and gets the poison, this is what you can do right away. CPR is what she knows. And as far as she knows, she doesn't know of an antidote. Now, when she was in Peru, I thought it was kind of weird that they said, because he stole the spider, he is cursed. So is that why the spider people made zero effort to try and catch him or try and stop him? Because, yeah, he may be cursed to constantly dream and foresee his own death, but he's still out there for, almost 30 years doing bad stuff. that's not good. They're just like, oh, he's going to do bad stuff. Nah. And then there's the quote, if you take on the responsibility, great power will come. And apparently a lot of people are going, hey, wait a minute, that sounds an awful lot like with great power comes great responsibility, except not nearly as good. They're slagging on them for that, which I don't necessarily think that's valid because, I mean, basically he was foretelling that if she guts it up, then she's going to get more power. You have to accept it before you get it, kind of thing. But that is one thing I was kind of confused about. Why can the bad guy see his own death but nothing else of the future? Well, okay, maybe that is the curse. And when she tells, in the ambulance, when she tells the Hispanic girl, get in the back and charge the AD, that girl wouldn't know what she was talking about. Also, she's got 2 girls back there already. Why didn't she have one of them do it? But then again, I can see that the Hispanic girl really comes across as the most reliable and trusted, the most likely to be competent. And one last thing that I really liked that was different from a lot of the recent female-led movies is that in this movie they didn't show, a little 100-pound woman beating the crap out of 4 200-pound guys and picking them up and throwing them, even though she doesn't have any powers or anything like that. And that happens a lot, and it really is unrealistic. I'm not a big guy. If I went against The Rock, he would pummel me. And just because you make somebody the lead in a movie doesn't mean that they can beat up people twice their size. And it's not a male-female thing, it's just a size thing. Well, so to wrap it up, basically, if you're an uber comics nerd, yeah, you're not going to like this movie. You might as well go watch Nerdrotic or Clownfish or one of the similar commentaries. And they're good, but they didn't like this movie. But if you're just looking for a pretty decent but not perfect movie, I think this is worth a look. I mean, I personally would give it about a 3 stars out of 5. It's not worth, going on a Saturday night IMAX showing with giant drinks and a huge popcorn or spending $70 or $80 to see it. But if you can see it for free or if you can see it in a matinee bargain show, yeah, you might give it a try. I mean, I didn't think it was horrible. I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not my new favorite, but I don't feel like in any way, shape, or form is a waste of time. So there you go. Leave a comment if you have something to say. Appreciate a like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.